Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, hosted by two nationally published Atlanta interior designers, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. These energetic women are also world travelers, charity givers, and bloggers with a wealth of information to share and stories to tell about the interior design world. Okay, now just a warning, this is going to be fun and not too serious. After all, they still do have an interior design business running at full speed.
Hi there, this is Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. It is episode 32, and the topic is why buy original art? We are big admirers of original art. Our goal is to incorporate at least one special piece in each of our projects as it really completes a custom design. So to own an original piece of art really is an honor. We're going to talk about the many misconceptions, the benefits, and what it means to own an original piece. We'll also fill you in on our favorite artists. And we'll go ahead and leave you some websites of some of these artists. So if you're driving or you can't write these down, you can always catch these in the show notes.
So let's talk about some of these misconceptions because we really want designers, but the general public to really kind of start paying attention to original art, even if you think it's not, something that you even care about. You might be surprised. So the first misconception that we find a lot is that original art is only for the wealthy. And what you may not realize is there are so many emerging artists out there who have incredible pieces, and they're really extremely reasonable. So, remember, you don't have to buy a huge painting to start off with. Start small or create a gallery of littles, which I just did at my house because A, I don't have much room left for art, but B, I can't afford, the big guys. And so it was really fun to look for those littles, and I put them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one is that, people think that they should only buy art as an investment, which it can be an investment. There are definitely, art collectors that intend to sell their collection, but you don't necessarily have to buy it as an investment. Just buy it for the sheer pleasure.
Yep. And I remember when we were lucky enough to have dinner with Vern Yip and his husband Craig and their beautiful home here in Atlanta, and we were touring their home, and they have the most beautiful collection of art in their home. And Craig was telling us, he was like, this is where we invest our money. We don't have a lot of money in the stock market. This brings us joy every day, and this is where our money is. Yeah, so for them, it was an investment.
They have a really beautiful, beautiful collection. As a matter of fact, Vic Muniz they're big collectors of Vic Muniz, and who happened to be at the High Museum of Art. And I took my granddaughter. It was really amazing. If you've never heard of him, Vic Muniz, Muniz, he does art out of junk. It's really cool.
It was super cool. So another misconception is that art galleries are snobby and intimidating. And I always thought this. I thought I don't have a degree in art history. I can't talk the talk. Walking into a gallery scared me.
Yeah, you kind of get intimidated. Like you feel like you have to know about everything, but you really don't.
Yeah. And one day we were in Marietta, and we walked into DK Gallery, which is owned by our good friend Donna Krueger. And why were we, I can't even remember, this was so long ago. Why were we doing that? Why did we walk in there? I can't remember, but we met her, and she really opened up my eyes for the love of art, because I remember she was so friendly and so nice, first of all, and she was just like, come in, just look around. And I said, how did you get started in this? And she was like, this actually, I'm a marketing girl. I'm a sales girl. I have no, big degree or Paris education in the arts. I love art, and I'm a good business person. And I thought, this is what I want to do. And she said, don't be afraid. It's a very personal experience. And when you come into an art gallery, the gallery owners, all they want to do is share their love of the art too. And make sure you ask questions and ask if you can ever get a chance to meet the artist. The artist will love nothing more than to tell you the story behind their art. And once you kind of learn about those stories and kind of learn where the artist was coming from and why they did what they did, the art takes on a whole new meaning. And but she really, I wasn't scared anymore after talking to her.
She took the intimidation out of it.
Yeah, she
definitely.
really did. Yeah.
Okay, another misconception is that you can only purchase from an art gallery. It may have been this way a while back, but I will tell you, in our social media world, and particularly Instagram, you can find all kinds of artists with all different price ranges. And the nice thing for artists is they're generally not very good at promoting themselves. Artists are generally pretty humble people, so they're not really good marketers. So this is a huge benefit for them. But you can go onto Instagram and you can either get to their website. A lot of times they'll put something up and say on sale now. So scroll Instagram. You don't have to necessarily work through a gallery, and it could be anybody, anywhere in the United States.
So, and we've also been to a lot of craft fairs and markets. So, for example, if you live in Atlanta, coming up Labor Day weekend, you're going to miss it. We're recording this early. But anyway, it's Arts in the Park on the Marietta Square. And it's a great time, again, to talk to that artist, learn more about them. And then when you purchase the piece, you always have that story to tell of, oh, that was the year that, my girlfriend and I went to, LA, and we went to that flea market, and I found that random little piece that was, it just spoke to me. It was so cool,
Or even on a trip, when we were just in our recent trip to Guatemala, Kelly and I both bought a piece. It was kind of a cool artist that did like girls' faces. And so we're like, yeah, we want this. And I have it in my little bathroom. And every time I look at it, I think about Guatemala.
It's with my minis in my gallery. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah.
All right. This one I love.
Yeah.
A lot of people will see abstract paintings and they'll say, I could do that, or a kindergartner could do that.
We
it
hear that all the
may
time.
look easy. It may look like a lot of scribbling, but trust us, there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of talent that goes into an abstract piece. You just go ahead and try it, and you'll see.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So those are some of the common misconceptions. And so hopefully we've kind of helped you to just open your eyes a little bit wider, not be afraid. But there's also a lot of benefits to original art, and this applies directly into every project that we do. But first off, it adds a lot of personality to the room. Most of the time they're one of a kind. They certainly don't look like they're mass produced, thank God. And my favorite thing is there's an emotional element to these. You hear people say the piece really spoke to me, and this is a real thing. I have some really random pieces in my house that I can't really explain, but
there's something about it.
But it's something about it. Yeah.
The other nice thing is most artists will let you commission a piece. So, for example, you see something, it may not be the size you necessarily want. You love the painting, but there's a few things, basically. The colors, the size, and you can have it made to whatever size you want. You can have the colors tweaked, so you can get exactly what you want too. So
we have commissioned so many pieces.
And those are the ones that are really meaningful.
Really meaningful. We just did one that was 4 feet wide by 6 feet tall. Now think about how big that is. Over a fireplace, and it was very specific memory of a vacation that our clients went to in Bali, and they had a lot of collaborative input in how what that piece was, and the artist kind of gave us peaks of it in stages so that if the client wanted to tweak it a little bit, they could, and they'll have that in their nursing home.
And they really personalized it. It's one of a kind. Nobody else will have that.
Yep.
So, all right, now we're going to share some of our favorite artists and galleries. First off, we'll talk about Greg Irby Gallery here in Atlanta. And we've used pieces from all of these artists. One of them is Kristen Blakeney. She is a young girl who does a lot of landscapes and abstracts on canvas. And now she's kind of moving into oil and pink on paper. I was just in Greg Irby the other day, and she's got these beautiful, beautiful nudes, if you like those.
And did she go to Auburn? I can't remember. She's young. She's like this young, beautiful thing. I'm like, how are you so talented?
A lot of them are young and beautiful.
Yeah. What is that? Another one we've commissioned several pieces of is Erin McIntosh. It's McIntosh. But look her up. Hers are they're colorful shapes and kind of geometry on canvas, and they're all like little dots. And they make up, we just installed one literally yesterday in a client's house, and my client said, do you see the people? And that's what I love about art is you look at it and everybody sees something different. It can really mesmerize you, but her stuff is really pretty.
Yeah. And she's another one that does littles, and the way hers are, they could easily incorporate into anything. So
Yeah.
Kay Fleer, she does these really, really cool, colorful barns on canvas, and she's the one who did that large commission for us of the 48 by 60. Yeah.
Yeah. She, that her barn one, I don't know what it is. That's another one that speaks to me that I haven't bought yet, but she had one at Greg Irby and I wanted it so badly. The barn was pink and I just, love it.
Yep.
So Laura Park, she is another great artist. Her work is very identifiable, as is a lot of these. When you see Kristen and you see Erin's work, you'll know exactly that it's them. And Laura is the exact same way. I have a piece of hers in my bathroom over my tub, and so I get to enjoy it every day. And she also just very generously donated a piece to our Thrift Studio charity event. So we were really grateful for her. But hers are very bright. They're colorful abstracts. She takes her designs. She's taken them, and now she's created wallpaper and pillows and fabric and home decor. So she's really taken it to another level. But I love her stuff.
Yeah, she's awesome. And then Kathy Cousart, it's Cousart. It's funny, we met her at the Southern Sea Conference, but she's a previous golf coach at the University of Georgia. But she paints very beautiful, surreal landscapes and florals that have like this softness and grace to them. But she also does a lot of UGA type of paintings and golf courses. She's very, very varied in her work, and she does a lot of Facebook Live, and you can watch her paint. So she's really a good, interesting one too.
Yeah, look her up on Facebook. She shares a lot. Another gallery that we enjoy in Atlanta. Now, keep in mind, we're telling you these galleries that are in Atlanta, but all of these galleries ship. So you don't have to, we have bought stuff in different states.
And some of these artists could be at other galleries too. So if you go onto their websites, it will probably tell you where they're showing.
Yeah. So Gary Bodner, he's another one that I haven't purchased a piece yet from, but I love his work. It's so quirky, crazy, weird, fun. But the really funny thing about him, that he practiced medicine for a long time in Atlanta, and he was an OBGYN. And now he's retired, and he's devoted himself full-time to painting, and this is his way of, being his artistic other side of the brain. But he does a lot of mixed media. It's very expressionistic. I mean, it's super cool.
He also shows at the Grand Bohemian in Charleston, and he has some really cool pieces there.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, Erin Gregory. I think she's the very first piece that we purchased for our office.
Yep.
She does beautiful, bright, kind of happy florals. They're not like cabbage roses. They're just florals that I don't even know how to describe it. You really just need to see it. But she's also, like, you can definitely tell her work, but now she's branching out into painting figures and landscapes. And the figures of these people that she paints, it's just amazing to me, the talent that these people have. Yeah,
but I will say, I still like her florals the best of what she does, and nobody can touch what she does. A lot of artists you see, especially on Instagram, they start some start copying others, especially with all the face art that you see. Nobody can touch her florals. And I hate to even say floral because it's better than that. But anyway, she's one of our ultimate favorites, and we've put her art in many, many, many projects.
Yes. Okay, let's go back to DK Gallery, who's in Marietta, Georgia. Susan Eastern Burns, she's been showing there for a very long time. She does these amazing animals, generally horses, that are colorful, full of movement, brushstrokey. Another one, very, very easy to spot.
Like if I wanted an animal in my house, that would be one that I would look. She would be an artist I would search.
Yeah. Holly Irwin, another amazing
I love her
artist.
stuff.
She does these elegant drawings of women in these beautiful dresses. And what's interesting is she grew up as the daughter of a fashion illustrator. So you can kind of see where people kind of get their inspiration, or how they end up doing what they're doing.
She also has Dirk Walker in her gallery, and Dirk did a beautiful commissioned piece for us for our Cartersville show house that we did. But he's another one of very varied work. It amazes me what he can do. But he's one of the top urban landscape artists in the Southeast, and he does these pieces like the Fox Theater, City Skyline, a lot of landmarks. Yeah. I have a piece of his. He put it on Instagram, and he said, "I've got a limited amount of these. They were actually prints, but they were of bears." And we had just bought the lake house, and it was a mama bear and a baby bear in like a watercolor. And I was like, "Man, you can do a variety of stuff." But I went on there and bought it right on Instagram, and he shipped it to me. I think it was $75, and so I'm a big fan of his.
Okay, speaking of big fans, Steve Penley. I don't want to assume that most people know who he is, but if you don't, look him up, Penley. We've used his work in so many of our projects. His work is like these bold brushstrokes, vivid colors, and then he paints icons. Several presidents he's done, the Statue of Liberty, Coca-Cola, American flag, and then he's another one of those great people that donates several paintings to charities and organizations in the state of Georgia. And he donated a Coca-Cola painting for us for our United Methodist Children's Home projects. And his stuff is exhibited worldwide. I think actually a bunch of his presidents are in the Fox News offices.
His are the kind that when you walk up to it and you're face to face with it, you can't see anything but color. And then you step away and you step away and you step away, and all of a sudden you're looking at a painting of Einstein or Ronald Reagan, and you're like, oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite artists of all time, I'm obsessed, is Kim Schuessler. She's a beautiful woman who lives here in Atlanta, and she's actually traveled the world with her husband's job too. But she does people, and they're faceless, and they're very colorful and whimsical, like couples dancing and families celebrating and friends standing together, and it's all mixed media. So she uses like paper and paint, and she'll have like hidden stenciled words and letters, kind of inside the figures, and it's unbelievable. And then
what I think is so cool, just this past February, Spanx featured her as one of Sarah Blakely's favorite artists, and they put her work on 3 limited edition bras. It is the coolest. So if you go onto Spanx and just look under Kim Schuessler, I guess, there are 3 bras with her paintings on them, and they're like $78. They're really, really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
But her art is one of it's actually the very first piece of original art my husband bought for me for Mother's Day. It's huge, and it was a big investment for us. I can't even remember. It was several thousands of dollars, and he drove to Charlotte to go get it. But it's 3 girls with this like blonde whimsical hair, and they're all in white dresses, and they're dancing, and they're all wearing different color rain boots. One's pink, one's yellow, and one's green. And then there's this bluebird like kind of in the corner, kind of dancing with the girls, and it just reminded me of myself and my girls. And it's probably the most important thing that I own, in my home.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it beyond. And I've commissioned 2 other pieces from her. Yep.
Okay, next on the list, Wendy O'Connor. I believe she's in Charlotte. Another beautiful abstract painter. She uses all kinds of textures, thicknesses, and she's another one. She has an incredible selection of wallpapers on her site. If you go on to wendyo'connor.net, pages and pages of really, really unique wallpaper.
The nicest, the sweetest, most southern, pretty.
Yep.
Her stuff is pure happy.
Yeah.
The girl's talented. So how about Taylor Cox? We just adore her.
This was kind of funny. I had been kind of following her on Instagram. I just love her work. So I reached out to her, never knowing that she lived in Atlanta, and her office is actually a short distance away from ours. So she's done several commissions for us. And you can see her growth as an artist. She's one of those that did the 100 paintings in 100 days and used these did different brush strokes. And then she turns these brush strokes into these beautiful scenes, like people on the beaches with umbrellas or a surfer. Another one, you just have to go on to her site to see
The
see her
amazing
work.
thing about her work, and you almost couldn't believe it unless you saw it in person, she paints tiny people.
like
Lit-
minuscule.
I can't even explain. Literally, the people are about a half-inch tall.
But the detail, it looks like it was cut out of a magazine or something.
It looks like a photograph that she shrunk down, but she paints it. And you can tell every detail on the person, what their bathing suit is, the drink that they're drinking, what they're doing. I don't even know how she does it.
She's another wonderful donor to our Dwell with Dignity project.
Yep.
Jay Scott.
Oh, Jay.
Jay, he's a contemporary artist, but he is known for like soft paintings with lots of layers and textures, but he can basically paint anything.
Anything.
Yeah. He did a beautiful painting for us for our office that it's a Charleston home, since Kelly and I love Charleston. It has a glass coating. It's like a Charleston house with our
Emerald
building
green
number.
door.
Yeah, emerald green door. But he crushes up these Swarovski crystals and puts it into the epoxy. And when the light hits it a certain way, it
Glamours.
glamours. It's just really cool. He is.
But he's another one, like, you know, we've talked about getting to know the artist. He's this big guy. He was a football player, and he's tatted up, and you look at him, you're like, oh God. He is the nicest, sweetest, most humble guy. He delivers the art to us whenever he can. I mean, I adore him.
He really, he's a big giver too. I
Yeah.
mean, he really does. Do we have time to tell the quick story of the football play?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So we had a client who loves Florida Gators.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're a football person, you know there's a specific game that goes down in the history books for something. I don't even remember what it was. So he had given us the play and wanted it done on a piece of art. So we gave it to Jay. And he finished it. He delivered it. And then he told us that basically when he was painting it, he realized that he was missing
he didn't have enough players on
he
the
didn't have
field.
players on the field. Now, maybe a different kind of artist would never have even known that.
Yeah.
But Jay knew it, and he knew the play, so he fixed it. It was
And of course, we told Jeff that, and he was horrified that he had sketched it out wrong. But he painted it so that it looked like it was on a chalkboard. So it's like chalkboard paint, and then
know,
the
the
play was like the
arrows, yeah.
sketch, like a coach had, done it with chalkboard, and then he had put it on a canvas and put epoxy all over it. And then they put it in their bathroom over the potty. And then Jeff was so obsessed with the play, he had it recorded in this little thing that was on the potty. So if you pressed a button, it was like, and then he's running and da-da-da-da. Okay, whatever. This is what art can do for you, people.
see. Okay, so probably time for one more. Marie Robeson. Her name is spelled Mari. Last name is Robeson. She is actually launching a new podcast in September that's going to be called Love Lulu Podcast, and it's going to be featuring artists.
I'm listening to that.
Yeah. She does incredible illustrations, and you can purchase these on her website. She wrote a book last year that I really
talked
loved
about. Yep.
and given it as gifts. It's called Charming and Pretty, The Art of Home. And it's a beautiful, fully illustrated hardback book that's broken down by the months and rooms, sharing her personal stories as a mother and a designer and ideas how to create a beautiful home. So great gift for somebody who loves their home, design, decor, art, perfect for a daughter, a sister, a friend, or a bride-to-be.
Yeah, that's cool. So I could go on and on. I mean, I have this like mental list of artists that I would really love to own a piece. Paige Morris, I first saw her at the Grand Bohemian Art Gallery in the bottom of that hotel in Charleston, and I love her work. Whitney Stoddard, who we talked about in our last show, is from Charleston with her black ink feminine work on tea stained paper.
Gina Hurry, she has also done some commissions for us.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about her and all the great work she's done for us. She does a nest. It's this woven, like if you think of a bird's nest and it's woven out of mixed media. I have a big one in my foyer that I'm in love with.
Aren't they like strips of newspaper or something that circle the nest and colorful?
We went to a show house in Serenbe, and I remember walking into the living room and I saw that, and most everything in show houses is for sale, and I was like, oh my God, I must have that. And she, at the time, was represented by DK Gallery, so that all worked out.
She ended up donating a nest to the Charleston show house that we did a couple years ago.
Yeah. So as you can tell, these artists are very giving. They're humble, they're giving, they love what they do. And it's just amazing that, they keep giving back and we keep buying. And another one is Teal Duncan. She's another young beauty. I think she went to Auburn as well. And is she in Charleston?
I think she is.
All I know is she comes out with a new group and it's sold in seconds. And hers is, she started doing all beaches and people on beach, and colorful umbrellas. And now she's doing
the bathing suits or what
women in bathing suits, but very like watercolor, pastels, contemporary. All this art is slightly contemporary, but it goes goes with traditional design.
We haven't talked about, maybe just because we're just still so into the paintings, there's so much other different kind of art, the sculptures and the glass and
that's
things
a whole
like
nother
that.
show.
That's a whole nother and art galleries will show that too as well, mixed in with the paintings. So don't be intimidated or scared to walk into an art gallery. You don't have to be a millionaire or even know anything about art. That's how you'll learn. So.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so our inspirational quote today, of course, goes along with
so apropos,
what we're talking about. Okay, here it is. When you buy something from an artist, you're buying more than an object. You're buying hundreds of hours of errors and experimentation. You're buying years of frustration and moments of joy. You're not just buying a thing. You're buying a piece of a heart, a piece of a soul, a small piece of someone else's life.
I think every artist would applaud that sentiment.
Yes.
And agree.
Yeah.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, so here's our funny quote. And this, thankfully, I have not hit that point in my life when I wake up for hours in the night, which will be devastating to me because I'm a 9-hour girl religiously. Actually, on the weekends, I sleep more. But for all of you who wake up in the night and it's disastrous, you'll laugh at this. Here's your brain at 3 a.m. I can see you're trying to sleep, so I would like to offer you a selection of every memory, unresolved issue, or things you should have said or done today or in the past 40 years.
It's so true. These thoughts, a lot of times I'll walk into the office in the morning, I'm like, this thought came to me in the night. Like, it seems like you must be at that like restful part of your night where then all of a sudden things pop into your head that like, why am I thinking of this now? And really now I have to go to the phone and put the reminder in because when I wake up in the morning, it probably won't come to me.
Well, see, this doesn't happen to me because I'm so busy having what Emily, our photographer, calls anxiety dreams. I have crazy lunatical dreams. Is that a word? All night long that she says are created by anxiety and stress. So I can't wake up because I'm too busy like running away from the murderer. Anyway, so that's that, peeps. So enjoy your day. And next time you see an art show or you walk by a gallery or you're on Instagram, don't be afraid. Check out that original art.
Yeah, it'll be something that you'll cherish forever, even if it's a
little.
Even if it's a little.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly weekly for a lively conversation about trends, travels to industry events, current design projects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, do's and don'ts, product recommendations, and more. Be sure to follow the fun on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Kandrak-Cole, and of course, you've got to visit them online at kandrak-cole.com for more information.